want to look for a boy. That wouldn't make any sense. You don't want to look for a marriage. That wouldn't make any sense. The dream of these little husbands and this husbandry type reality, the dream of it all is a cute dream. That is a cute dream that you could wake up one day and be a giant among gods. Like, it is the cutest dream that gods have ever dreamed. But that's not how real life works. And I think most people would probably know that real life doesn't work like that. In real life, life is full of massive, massive, massive things. And you either survive or you don't. The world of gods has no courthouse. It has no, cutesy things. The world of God is just life or death, and there's nothing else. There never will be, there never was. So you're looking for a husband, or you're looking for the human who really is a giant among human mentality, human reality. You're looking for the guy that just has all these amazing reactions, because an angel and a god end up dead beyond all death in one fight with a pretty good, pretty massive demon. And you're looking for the kind of dad who has all the right responses in any emergency, overwhelming reality type way. Before there's an emergency, or before you'd ever need them to actually take care of an emergency. So you're trying to use this. So since I'm the loser, dumbass, nothing, fighting with the countries about this kind of shit that they had done to me, or because I want to stay so degraded and obvious while they die all around me, because that's the glamour of God kind of shit. You want death to be so overwhelming and constant, and know that husband is like the most unshakable giant of greatness ever known. But you're not going to find that out, and life doesn't work that way. And even though they educated and took training since they were kids, they're still going to get nervous or falter. Emergencies still make people get emotional. So you're looking for all the weird right responses when there is no emergency. Certain responses tell you what they would be like in emergencies, and that's what you're looking for. So you really want to be the most terrible shit, and you want their first reactions to be what you could wish or dream after working inside of them since they were little kids, to turn them into what gods would need for the end of the world. And ultimately to be a dad of gods, or a husband, or a giant among angels and gods. To live their little cute dream as gods, that a little tiny human with the right heart and soul could become anything. Well, anyone could become anything, but it's a real place. It takes real realities to get there. So I need all these husbands to pass the tests that prove they're worth getting to all these countries that need help and stuff. Because I'm not going to send a husband who's some weird little wee boy or something to a country that needs a giant. Wee boys can just stay around my stupid nothing self acting over here and be anything they want to be. But over where God needs a giant among gods, that a lot of this stuff just wouldn't fit. So that's why we as gods decided to do it this way. Kind of weeding them out or weeding them through and deciding whether they can get through. Now, that lady called me a homewrecker. Like, you can't be a human and fight with God. That doesn't happen. That's not even realistic. When God claims a nun, it's just done. So the lady gives her life to God and wants to be a nun. And then God says, okay, now you're a nun. It's just over, and God owns that person. Like, I'm sorry that they have to stay home wrecker or get mad or do whatever they feel they have to do. But gods that own souls don't talk to anybody about it. And it doesn't work like that. So they'd have to go to my queen, talk to the gods and figure it out for themselves. You can't just walk up to a god and say anything. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not going to go the way you want. So it's a waste of time. You shouldn't have a mentality, or don't develop a mentality that gives you options against or among gods and more, where you have no options. Maybe go to my queen to find out what real options really are real. But this is the end of the world. So God normally is going to claim a soul and more forever. But in a time of emergency, God's claimed souls like holy moly. It's just the way life goes. I'm claiming the husbands that are ending up giving the signs that prove they're mine, passing the test, have good enough skills. And that's just how it goes. That's why they work from childhood to be these husbands or things that they wanted to be. They could have tried from childhood to marry me, different brothers and sisters I have, different children that are gods I have, different moms and dads that are gods I have. Like, they could have worked hard and chosen to end up with anybody. So these are the men that wanted to belong to me and only me and just my powers, and maybe help gods everywhere for a lot of reasons and stuff. And that's where we're headed, and that's where we need to be going. But I get it. The work of God is hard among human, what you believe or what you see or what you live in humanly. But it takes 2 seconds to prove that I'm a living death God. Right there, nobody wouldn't be interested. But would I be interested in knowing they ever even existed? And that's what we're always just trying to get to.